warm world dance. Focus on his name. It was a short, sweet kiss. It wasn't like a long-winded thing.
Oh my God.
It was Kevin, wasn't it?
Oh my God. How did you know that? Like, I haven't told anyone that story since middle school. How would you even guess that? How do you know by just looking at
Kevin.
It was Kevin. How did you know that? I haven't told anyone that story.
I saw it when you weren't speaking.
In my eyes.
Yeah.
How do you figure that out? Like, how do you like read my mind like that?
When was the last time you thought of Kevin?
God, like 5 years ago. After it happened.
Until that moment right there, you never thought of Kevin.
Never thought of it. Ever. Like I said, I haven't told anyone that, and for him to just guess immediately, it's nuts. Like, I still can't get over it. The fact that he knew it was exactly Michigan, it was at the War Memorial, like, his name was Kevin, like, it's just like every single little detail I could have imagined, like, someone to know. I mean, I just always, like, take that as, like, an experience, like, you know, getting to know someone who just, like, knows the human body and how to manipulate us and, like, see through someone's mind. It's just kind of crazy.
The average person tells about 4 lies a day. That's approximately 1,460 lies a year, and by the time we're 60, we've told over 80,000 lies. I've trained to be a human lie detector, reading people's body language, their eyes, and even their thoughts. I'm about to meet a police officer who's going to try and lie to me. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
What's your name?
Hugo.
Hugo, I'm Keith. Thanks for meeting me here today. So Hugo, I'm going to talk a little bit about lie detection in a few moments.
Okay.
You're a former police officer.
Correct.
You've probably come across a lot of people who try to deceive you, would that be correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, try to lie to you and things like that?
Yes.
So, do you think you became pretty good at detecting when somebody was lying?
Fair, yeah, I would say I was there. Yeah.
So, did you use intuition, or were you looking for body language signals, or what were you looking for?
Body language signals, patterns of speech, some of the reddening of the skin, you know, heat of the blood when it goes to the ears.
Sure, so changes in body temperature, perspiration, people maybe folding their arms for a defense posture,
right.
And maybe diverting their gaze, things like that. So you're looking for all those little signals.
Right.
If I was to give you a lie detector test right now using a machine, I'd need to establish a baseline.
Right.
So I'd need to know when you're telling the truth. I've trained to be a human lie detector, and I've already determined your baseline.
Oh.
Do you know when I did that?
No.
When I walked into the room, I asked you your name. And assuming that your name really is Hugo,
yes.
You told the truth. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
So hopefully I'll be able to detect when you're lying. Put out both hands like this for me. Here's what we're going to do. In a moment, I'll ask you to think of an imaginary object. And I'll ask you to just think about which hand that object is in. Either your right hand or your left hand. I'll ask you both times, is it here? Is it here? And both times you'll say no. It's my job to figure out when you're lying. Okay. So first of all, have a moment now to think of an object and think of the shape of that object and what it looks like. Okay. You got something? Good. Look directly at me. Is it in your right hand?
No.
Is it in your left hand?
No.
I don't know if you noticed, but your chin dropped ever so slightly when you said it. It's in your left hand. So I believe you're lying, and it is over here. Is it out in your left hand?
Yeah.
Be honest, yes it is, good. Okay, we'll try that again. This time you can swap hands, or you can keep it in the same hand. It's up to you. This time, Hugo, you're not gonna say anything. You're just gonna shake your head no.
Okay.
Both times. Is it here? Is it here? You shook your head just a little bit too long. Second time around, you kept it in the same hand. And be honest, is it still here?
Yes.
Yes, good. I'll try this one last time. This time, though, I'm just going to think the question. And you're just going to think the answer.
Okay.
But you'll think no both times. It's one thing to read body language, but it's another to read thoughts. Do you know when you gave it away? Just now. It's in the same hand.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
Good. Visualize the object. See it right now. This is something that actually exists. Is this something quite hard in texture? Is it hard?
Yes.
Yeah, good. I'm seeing an animated object. Something to do with one of your children?
No.
No. Okay, and I can see like a lead. Does a lead make any sense?
Yes.
Yes? I'm seeing ears. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
I'm seeing something to do with your dog? Your dog.
Yes, that's what it is.
What was it?
It's a dog pull toy.
A dog pull toy.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Amazing.
When somebody has heightened anxiety, whether it's from lying or whether it's from a conflict, the body activates a lot of its autonomic systems. And this is expressed in body position, sweat, and muscle contraction.
He read my body language, he read my behavior, watched my eyes for any subtle movements, and probably the tension in my hands as well.
If you're watching for the cues, they raise an eyebrow, they will glance away for a second. You can tell that they're nervous about something, but they do it very quickly. It can be very, very small.
If I knew what he knew, I'd be a marvel out in the street.
Today I've decided to become a psychological interior designer. This room has been designed to my exact specifications. Everything that's in it or not in it is for a reason. There are no distractions. Anyone that spends time in this room will be forced to look inward and reflect on their subconscious mind. The only question is, how long will they last? How long would you last? I brought Uday into my time room for an experiment and had him turn away as I wrote something down on a piece of paper. I then folded it, had him put it into an envelope, and sign and seal it. Seal it. Sign across the seal for me. I'll stick this to the wall. Right in front of it. I've got a clock here, Uday. This clock is so the people watching can keep an eye on the time. I've got a battery here, Uday. You can see the clock is set at exactly 12 o'clock. Once the battery goes in, the clock will turn on, and your time in the time room will begin. The clock is now on. I told him he should stay in the room as long as he could stand it, but that he was free to leave at any time. When you want to leave the time room, Uday, I want you to just let me know.
Hey, I can sit here all day, I'm fine. Christ. I am not patient enough. I don't even know who I'm trying to kid. I've got stuff to do. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Uday, I want you to stand next to the clock. Stand next to the clock for me. Immediately stand next to the clock. Good. So Uday,
Yeah.
how many minutes did you stay in the time room for?
26.
26 minutes.
Yeah.
And you could have chosen to leave at any time, correct?
Yeah.
Don't be so sure. Have a look at what's inside the envelope.
Jesus, I don't know how you did that. That's crazy.
How are we going to be psychologically happy in a room Well, colour plays a role. Definitely, people respond to different colours with different emotions. We might shiver, or we might feel tense, or our breathing might speed up, we'd feel tightness in the chest.
I kind of took it as a personal challenge towards myself. Towards the beginning, I thought, no, I can stay, I can sit, I'm patient. Sometimes I fool myself into thinking I'm a patient person. I don't know why you knew that, or how you did that. That's weird.
The exact prediction is remarkable. Time is relative. Time is relative to sequences of events that occur, and we order them, and that helps us create time.
When you remove a person from their comfort zone, you get a person who now is out of their element. They're not sure what's coming.
I don't think I could have done a minute longer. I think Keith found my breaking point.
I've spent a lot of time trying to get inside other people's heads. Now I've found someone who might just be able to get into mine. Moshi Kai is 11 years old, but unlike most kids his age, he's a little ahead of the curve. He learned to read at age 3 and has been playing Mozart and Bach since he was 4. He began college at age 8 and graduated summa cum laude. He plans to have his PhD in astrophysics before he is even able to vote. He was brought here today, but has no idea why I chose this field as our meeting place. Hey, Moshi Kai, how are you?
Hey, good, how about you?
Yeah, great, thank you. Thanks so much for coming along here today.
Oh, no problem.
And you're probably wondering right now what you're doing in the middle of a cornfield. Well, the reason I've chosen you today, Moshi Kai, is because of what you've got going on right up there. You've really done more, as you know, in 11 years than a lot of people would have done in a lifetime. We're going to try a demonstration in mind reading today. Have you ever had your mind read before?
No.
Have you ever read somebody's mind before?
No.
Here's what I'd like you to do. Just close your eyes. Actually, put your hands over your eyes for me. Put your hands over your eyes. I want you to think of something that you can clearly visualize. You've got something in mind, keep your hand over your eyes because I'm going to draw something on my hand. I don't want you to see what it is. Good, open your eyes. I want you to take this marker for me. And whatever it was that you saw in your mind, I want you to draw it on your hand, nice and big. Hold your hand up so I don't see. Draw it nice and big as you can. All right, I'll take back the marker. Now, Moshi Kai, you could have drawn anything.
Yes.
Show me what you drew. You drew, it's kind of like the peace sign.
Yes.
This is crazy.
It was incredible that Keith drew the shape and knew the shape before I did when I wrote it down. How did he do it? I feel the peace sign is a very profound shape and very significant for people living in this time. To some extent, this is the reason why I chose the shape of the peace sign.
I'll tell you what, just come with me for a minute, down here. You see, Moshi Kai, I told you we were doing an experiment in mind reading, correct?
Yes.
But what if I told you I wasn't reading your mind? What if I told you you were reading mine? Would you believe me?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe, but you're not sure. Well, I knew that you wouldn't be sure until you went home and watched this show just like them.
I feel there's exactly 2 lines at 45 degrees, and I'm like, wait a minute, the peace sign has 2 lines going at 45 degrees from the center. I just realized that this is like a whole peace sign right over here. I thought he was gonna read my mind and see what kind of shape I'm thinking of, but actually, I read his mind, all this experiment right here.